What up? Welcome back to Cool Kid TCG. Here we have a match of the day of Usopp versus Boa Hancock. We won the dice roll. We're going first. Gonna mold that hand. Play my good friend Amir. He's been on Boa pretty much since OP06 or OP07 when it came out. I was playing Boa for a while, but he's the real Boa fan because he's been playing it way more than I have, evolving it through the different metas. So excited to see what he's got cooked up today. I know that the new set, there's some cards, specifically Kyros seems to be a really good card in Boa. So yeah, excited to see how this goes. Again, we won the dice roll. We're going first, and we mull our hand. We got stage. Love to see it. Tap 1 for stage and pass. He's going to go to his 2 Dawn turn. He's going to tap 1 for a Buggy. Buggy allows him to range the top 3 cards of his deck, and they have to go back on top, but in any order. And then he's going to tap 1 for a Law blocker, just a chump blocker. Boa's ability is if he has 5 cards or less in hand and a card is removed from the field, he may draw a card. So we're going to swing 6 life, and then he's going to give us a 2k, and then we're just going to tap 2 for an Adeo blocker. So yeah, his deck's going to have a lot of removal, but also it features a lot of 1 cost because he wants to keep his hand size down. So that Law blocker is really good. That Buggy's really good. He could also bounce it back with another Law or a Jozu. He's going to swing 5 life. We're going to take, we're going to block and then use leader effect to draw. But yeah, having that Buggy on board, like if he plays a 4-cost Law, for example, he can bounce some 4 costs back to our hand. Lucky for us, our 4 costs are bumped to 5 costs, but they're in Jozu range. He's going to put 3 down on Buggy and swing 5 life, and we're going to take, and he's going to play another Law blocker. So we go to our 5 Dawn turn. We have a Rebecca in hand for next turn. We're going to tap 1 for a Rebecca Searcher, and we're going to be able to grab the 7-cost Luffy, and we're going to be able to swing that because of stage into the Buggy that he has rested. Maybe I shouldn't have done that because maybe I could have established the Cavendish and swung that in. That might have been the better play. But what we're going to be able to do here is swing another 5. We could play another Rebecca block or Rebecca here, but I think the best play is to swing 5 life. He blocks. We're going to tap 4 for a Frankie blocker. I don't think we have any good 2-costs. We do have an Adeo, so we can't bring the Adeo back. And we are at 6 cards in hand, so just out of range of leader ability, unless we pitch a card for counter. He's going to tap 4 for a Trafalgar Law that, if I have 6 cards in hand, which I do, I put 1 to the bottom of my deck if he returns that card to his hand. And he also gets to use leader effect to draw for that, I believe. So now he plays 2 for a Muggy Ball and bounces our Frankie back to our hand. So effectively removed our board and then swings 5 and a life. We're giving the 1k Rebecca we have. And then we get to go to our 7 Dawn turn. Now we have the Luffy we can play. And we're going to play, we can have a couple options to play a secondary off of it, for example the Cavendish, the Frankie, but that Sabo 2k we just drew, that's a key card in this matchup because if he goes to remove anything from our field, we can bounce out to our hand instead. So here's an interesting thing too, is we're able to draw the Kyros off of the Rebecca, 1 draw. So I'm going to play the Kyros instead of the Luffy. I'm going to bounce that Law blocker back to his hand and play the Sabo rest. Now the Sabo is a little vulnerable. He can swing into it. I don't have a ton of counter in hand, but I'm going to try to keep that Sabo alive as best as I can, because as long as that Sabo's alive, his Red Rocks, his own Kyros, his Gravity Blades, if he goes to do anything other than Sabo, I can bounce that Sabo back to my hand, and that Sabo's a 2k. So that card is the key to winning this matchup. It is a little bit vulnerable right here because it's rested. I don't have a blocker, so I'm really hoping he doesn't put a ton of Dawn on and swing into the Sabo. I only have 4 cards in hand, I believe. So yeah, if I can keep that on there, he's not going to be able to do some of his powerful removal events, such as, like I said, Red Rock, Gravity Blade, to really blow up our field. He's going to swing 7 into it. We're going to give 2k 1k. So thankfully, that was all the counter we had in our hand. We have 2 bricks now. So that Sabo is going to at least not die from battle. He might be able to do, again, if he uses the removal spell here, it's going to only be able to affect the Sabo. And blue doesn't typically run any rush. Only rush card currently is Rush Usopp, and the only card deck that really runs that is Nami. And maybe they don't even run it. So he taps 1 for another lob blocker, the one we bounce back potentially. And he's going to tap 4 for a Sabo of his own. So we draw a Zoro. We could pop his own Sabo with that Zoro. We have options here. We could also establish the 7-cost Luffy. That would make you a strong play. But whatever we're going to do, I'm not going to swing that Sabo because I need to keep that Sabo alive as much as possible. Now that it's untapped, we're going to swing 5 life and see what he does. He gives us a 1K. We're going to swing another 5 life with the Rebecca, and he gives us a counter there as well. Now we swing 9 life, and he gives us the blocker. So now I can kill that with the Zoro, or I can establish the Luffy and swing into it. Counting my Dawn, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 8 standing. So I'm going to establish the Luffy, and I'm going to swing 8 into that Sabo. That Luffy can attack active characters. It can also restand itself if I return 7 cards to trash, but then it won't refresh the next phase. I'm just going to leave it tapped 1, 2, 3, 4. We're not anywhere near King Kong Gun. I think we're about 7 cards in trash. But with that Sabo standing, again, if he goes to use a removal spell, he's going to have to do Sabo first, or just have it fizzle because that Sabo is going to be able to return to my hand to counteract it. Our board's looking really awesome, and his board doesn't have anything. So we're in an incredible spot, and we have the perfect defense. Only thing I wish we had was we had a blocker, because he's able to swing into our Rebecca and kill it. We're able to draw a card off leader effect. We do draw another Sabo in case we need one. I'm not going to play that Sabo until my first Sabo is removed, because that could leave them vulnerable to Gravity Blade. He could Gravity Blade both of them. So just because I have 2 wouldn't be like establishing a wall. He does tap 7 for a Dofi. Dofi bounces a 7 cost to hand, so he bounces my Sabo back to my hand. The only thing he can do, because if he was going to bounce anything, I would just return that Sabo to my hand anyways. Not that he could actually. The only thing he could do is the Rebecca. But I'm gonna be. I have 8 Dawn, or excuse me, 10 Dawn. I'm going to play one of those Sabos down this turn. I'm gonna swing 5 life. He takes. He's at like 4 cards in hand. I was kind of thinking he would give us a 1K for that, but now he's not going to do that. So the idea here is I'm going to save 4 for Sabo. I think I'm gonna Dawn up on the Luffy. He can attack active characters and just kill that Dofi. That's the way I like it. I could attack life, and then I could restand, and like I could really push hard at his life, but I don't want him to have any sort of board. So yeah, I think I'm gonna put 6 Dawn on the Luffy and swing 13 into the 7. We still have 4 Dawn standing. We're able to kill that Dofi. Now we swing 9 life. He takes. We got him down to 2 life, I believe. We're gonna tap 4 for that Sabo. So now, again, we're back to being in an incredibly strong spot. He has no board, and if he goes to remove our board, he's first going to need to remove our Sabo. We only have a 2K in hand. It's another Sabo, which I kind of don't want to give up, just in case something happens to the one we have, but I potentially might have to. He's going to swing 9 into the Luffy. I couldn't keep it alive even if I wanted to, so we're going to let it die. Draw a card. We draw a Leo. He's got 6 Dawn standing, and he's going to Red Rock our Sabo. So it's expensive to get rid of that Sabo, but he got rid of it. He used Red Rock, which removes bottom decks of any character. Probably the strongest removal card in the game. And he had to use it on a 4 cost. Well, essentially 5 cost. We're going to tap 1 for Leo. Rest stage. Go searching. We're able to grab 2 Dressrosa and then pitch 1 from our hand. We're going to grab 2 2Ks. Just kind of fix our hand. We have a ton of bricks in hand. Gonna pitch the Zoro. Doesn't seem like he's playing anything, and we might need that Cavendish to be able to draw cards. I think that's kind of my thought process. Probably, maybe it would be better to pitch the Cavendish actually. Oh, we already have a Zoro in hand. That's why we pitched the Zoro. We're gonna swing 6 into life. He gives us a 2K, 9 life. He takes, and then now we're gonna tap 4 for a Sabo and another 4 for a Cavendish. So now again, we're in an incredibly strong spot. We played the second Sabo down. Whatever he goes to do, we're protected from removal because we can just return that Sabo to our hand if he does. He's going to tap 1 for a Sengoku Searcher, search top 5 for a Warlord of the Sea. And he's going to grab a Law Blocker, the same one he's been playing all day. It has no counter, but it is a blocker. And we have 4 cards in hand. I think we have 2 2Ks and a 1K. He's going to swing 7 life. Thinking about whether I should counter out of this. He's just going to take. We draw a brick in the Cavendish. Now he taps 1 for the Law. And then he's going to tap 6 for another Red Rock to Red Rock our Sabo. Again, while he's removing these cards, he does get to draw because he's got 5 cards or less in hand. But again, he's not really establishing anything on the board. The only thing he has right now is a Sengoku Searcher and a Law Blocker. We can really push for game this turn. It's just a matter of how we want to go about doing it because he only has 3 cards in hand. So let's start off with a 7 to life. See what we can find. We're going to pitch the Cavendish, draw 2, trash 1. And we draw into a King Kong gun. So now we can really push for life. I feel like we can put the pedal to the metal here. He does have that blocker. I could try to play, like, swing around it. But I think the idea is I'm just going to pop it. This might not be the most efficient way of using Dawn. But we're going to tap 4 for the Zoro. We're going to pop the blocker. Now we're going to swing 7 life. See what he does. He uses 2K, 1K, and now at this point, I think he only has 2 cards in hand. We're going to swing 9 life. We should have done the order of operations slightly different. We should have done this one first. We're going to do 8 life with the King Kong gun of Rebecca to power up +6. And then we should swing the 9, but we swing 9, 8. But yeah, ultimately, this game goes as a credit to the new Sabo card. That Sabo card is incredible. If you could get it and you can get it to stick, it pretty much just shuts off Boa because like he had to use his Red Rocks, which is incredibly expensive but incredibly powerful removal event, and he had to use that on the Sabo. So while he was doing that, he wasn't able to establish board while we continued to establish board and pressure. So yeah, I think all credit to this game goes to getting that Sabo out and keeping it alive. We played another game after this, and the Sabo didn't stick, and it was much harder. It was a much more difficult game. But yeah, I think the key to this is to playing Boa, maybe even heavy removal is the Sabo. Especially ones that prioritize kind of like removing one at a time or at once, like Boa kind of does. So yeah, credit to the Sabo, credit to my opponent Amir. We kind of just got pretty lucky. Saw what we needed to see. But let me know in the comments anything I could have done differently. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and see you next time.